Have you ever wondered what the secret to living a long and healthy life is? Surely we all know that diet plays a crucial role, but did you know that a very simple habit could actually help you live longer? That's right, eating in moderation. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a unique eating habit from Okinawa, Japan, where people live the longest in the world. Let's dive into the principle of Harahachi Buu, eating until you're about 80% full, and why this simple habit could completely transform your health. Next, let's begin exploring the first habit in the journey to living longer and healthier. 1. Moderation in eating, Harahachi Buu. Let's start with the first habit, one of the simplest yet most powerful practices when it comes to living a longer, healthier life. Moderation in eating. In Okinawa, Japan, where the people consistently live some of the longest lives in the world, there's a guiding principle called Harahachi Buu. This translates to the practice of eating until you're 80% full, rather than eating until you feel completely stuffed. Now you may be wondering, why stop at 80%? Well, the science behind this is fascinating. When we eat until we're completely full, we're often overloading our digestive system with excess calories, which can lead to inflammation, insulin resistance, and weight gain over time. By stopping when you're about 80% full, you allow your body to properly digest the food you've eaten without putting unnecessary strain on your system. This practice helps to avoid overeating, which is a major contributor to many age-related diseases. The key to Harahachi Buu isn't just about portion control. It's about how you approach your meals. In many Western cultures, finishing your plate is seen as a sign of respect for the food, or simply because it's wasteful to leave anything behind. However, in Okinawa, there's no need to clear your plate completely. The goal is to eat mindfully, listen to your body's signals, and stop when you feel satisfied, not stuffed. This approach has numerous health benefits. Studies have shown that consuming fewer calories on a consistent basis can lower inflammation, reduce oxidative stress, and help maintain healthy metabolic functions, all of which are critical in slowing down the aging process. By practicing moderation in eating, you give your body the best chance to stay strong and youthful for longer. But don't just take my word for it. Research from organizations like the National Institute on Aging has demonstrated a clear connection between caloric restriction and longevity. For example, people who eat less but maintain adequate nutrition tend to have lower rates of chronic diseases, such as heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer. Caloric restriction works not by starving your body, but by reducing the excess that leads to chronic conditions. Let's take a moment to consider the impact of overeating on your health. When you eat more than your body needs, excess calories are stored as fat, which over time can increase your risk of obesity, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. Overeating also triggers an inflammatory response, which accelerates cellular damage and can lead to premature aging. By stopping at around 80% full, you prevent these negative effects from taking hold. One of the things that makes Harahachi Buu so effective is that it's not about extreme dieting or depriving yourself of the foods you love. Instead, it's about mindful eating, taking your time, and recognizing that fullness isn't always the goal. The more you practice this, the more you'll realize that eating less can actually lead to more energy, more mental clarity, and even more enjoyment from your meals. Let me tell you about Helen, a 68-year-old woman who grew up in a family where cleaning your plate was a rule. For years, she would finish her meals even if she was already full, driven by the belief that wasting food was bad. Over time, this habit led to sluggish digestion, afternoon fatigue, and disrupted sleep. But after learning about Harahachi Buu, she decided to change her approach to eating. Helen began asking herself midway through her meals, "Am I still hungry, or am I just eating out of habit?" The results were impressive. She started eating more slowly, savoring her food, and paying closer attention to her body's hunger cues. Within just a few weeks, her energy levels increased. She felt less bloated after meals, and her sleep improved dramatically. What was even more surprising was the newfound joy she felt at the table. She wasn't just eating to fill her stomach. She was eating to nourish her body and enjoy the moment. You might be thinking, that sounds too easy. Can it really make a difference? The answer is yes. It's a small shift, but one that has the potential to transform your health. So why not try it yourself? Start today by eating a little slower, taking a few extra moments to breathe between bites, and when you feel about 70% full, pause. You don't have to finish everything on your plate. By practicing moderation, you're giving your body the respect it deserves. The next time you sit down for a meal, try to focus on the experience rather than the quantity of food in front of you. Eat slowly, pay attention to your body, and notice how much more you can enjoy your food when you don't eat to the point of feeling stuffed. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about small, sustainable changes that can have a profound impact on your long-term health and well-being. 2. Choosing plant-based proteins over animal-based proteins. Now let's dive into the second crucial habit for living a long, healthy life. Choosing plant-based proteins over animal-based ones. This habit is one of the cornerstones of the Okinawan diet and is another reason why people in Okinawa live so long and maintain their health well into their hundreds. While most of us associate protein with meat, steaks, chicken, pork, or fish, many of the longest living populations, particularly in Okinawa, focus on plant-based proteins to fuel their bodies. You might be surprised to learn that the main source of protein for Okinawans isn't red meat or chicken, but rather soy-based foods like tofu, miso, natto, and edamame. And no, this doesn't mean you have to become a vegetarian or vegan to reap the benefits. It's about incorporating more plant-based proteins into your diet, even if it's just a few times a week, to balance out the heavier animal proteins that many of us consume on a daily basis. So, why should we consider making this shift? The answer lies in the remarkable health benefits that plant-based proteins offer. First off, plant proteins, especially those from soy, are packed with complete protein. That means they provide all the essential amino acids your body needs to function properly. Amino acids are the building blocks of your body's cells, tissues, and organs, which is why protein plays such a crucial role in maintaining muscle mass, repairing tissues, and supporting overall health. Soy-based foods like tofu, edamame, and miso also contain isoflavones, a type of plant compound that acts like estrogen in the body. Isoflavones are powerful antioxidants that help to reduce inflammation, a major contributor to aging and chronic diseases. By regularly incorporating soy into your diet, you can reduce the risk of developing heart disease, lower your cholesterol levels, and even protect your bones as you age. One of the key benefits of plant-based proteins, particularly from soy, is their ability to support heart health. Studies have shown that consuming soy protein can help lower LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, while increasing HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol, which reduces the risk of heart disease. In fact, the American Heart Association has recognized soy protein as an effective way to lower cholesterol levels and improve cardiovascular health. But that's not all. Plant-based proteins are also packed with prebiotic fiber, which nourishes the good bacteria in your gut. This is important because a healthy gut is directly linked to a healthy immune system, better digestion, and even mental health. When your gut microbiome is balanced, it helps your body absorb nutrients more efficiently, which is vital for maintaining a strong immune system, especially as you get older. Let's look at Frank, a 73-year-old man who spent most of his life avoiding soy. Like many others, he had heard rumors that soy could disrupt hormones, especially in men. But after watching a documentary on the longevity of Okinawan centenarians, Frank decided to give soy a chance. Twice a week, he swapped his usual red meat dinner for a tofu stir-fry with bok choy, garlic, and ginger. The results? Within 3 weeks, Frank noticed his blood pressure had dropped, his joint pain had eased, and he wasn't napping as much in the afternoon. Frank's story is a perfect example of how small changes can lead to big improvements in health. By making simple swaps like choosing tofu over steak or incorporating more legumes like lentils and beans into your meals, you're giving your body the tools it needs to stay healthy and strong as you age. The best part about adding plant-based proteins to your diet is that it doesn't require a complete overhaul of your eating habits. You don't need to cut out meat entirely, but simply reduce your meat consumption and replace it with plant-based alternatives a couple of times a week. It's easy, cost-effective, and most importantly, incredibly good for your health. A simple way to get started is by swapping red meat for plant-based proteins like lentils, black beans, or chickpeas in dishes like soups, salads, or stews. You can also try making tofu or tempeh stir-fries, or include edamame in your snacks. These foods are not only nutritious, but they're also full of flavor and can be easily incorporated into any cuisine. It's not about completely eliminating animal proteins from your diet. It's about creating a balance. The goal is to make plant-based proteins a regular part of your meals, so you're not only nourishing your body with the right kind of fuel, but you're also helping to reduce your environmental footprint, as plant-based proteins tend to have a much lower carbon footprint than animal proteins. Remember, you don't need to become a full-time vegetarian to enjoy the benefits of plant-based proteins. Small changes like eating plant-based meals 2 to 3 times a week can make a significant impact on your health, especially as you age. Incorporating more plant-based foods like tofu, lentils, and edamame into your diet can help lower inflammation, support heart health, improve digestion, and reduce the risk of chronic diseases. It's all about making smarter, more sustainable choices for your body, your health, and your future. So why not give it a try? Start by adding more plant-based meals to your weekly routine and feel the difference for yourself. So, next time you sit down to eat, remember, you don't need to finish your plate. Listen to your body, savor each bite, and stop when you're 80% full. It's a simple habit, but it could be the key to unlocking a longer, healthier life. Start today and watch as your energy, health, and overall well-being transform. It's not about restriction, it's about respect for your body and a little moderation in every meal. Can you imagine what else this small change could do for you? Try it out and let me know what you discover.